In this video, I'm going to teach you on how to paint this house step by step. Hello everyone, my name is JMLisondra and I will be your teacher today. As you can see all the materials needed on the screen. You can see the 5 blue colors and the brushes and the canvas. And the first step will be the sketching. Okay, so we're gonna use the raw umber for the sketching, everyone. So we just have to sketch first the roof. Of course, we're gonna do the roof first. Normally, in building the house, we have to build first the foundation, but in painting the house, we have to paint first the roof. But it's up to you, everyone, how you're gonna manage or how you're gonna build your house. But for me, I'm going to do first the framing, that is on the top of the roof, using the small flat brush. So I am using currently the number 3 nylon flat brush, and then raw umber. So raw umber, everyone, is like a brown, but it's a something like a dark brown. If you have no raw umber, you can also use the burnt umber. Okay, so that's how we're gonna make it. But this the very important part, everyone, is the foundation or the framing. Yeah, so just like that. Okay, and then we can put also some plants. Don't worry, everyone. These are just our guides, the frames, but we do not know yet. Maybe we can retouch it or whatever. Something not right, we can correct it later on. But framing is very, very important. It's the sketch. So this is the first step, sketching. If you want to learn the whole process on painting this landscape, you can just follow the link below on the description box. Okay, and just use the raw umber, everyone, or brown color. Okay, we did the plants on the grounds. A good thing about putting plants, everyone, it adds greens or something like beauty on our painting on our house. If you see a house with a lot of plants, it looks beautiful. Even uh, how simple we look on the house, or how simple the house is, it will only always looks beautiful when there's a lot of plants or it is surrounded by a lot of plants. Okay, I love it. So I just have to make it stronger or bolder. Yeah. So the step to everyone is under painting. So we're gonna use again the raw umber. Yeah, the raw umber or dark brown. If you have no raw umber, just use the burnt umber. Yeah, I love it. When I use the red, the raw umber for the roof. So as you can see now, everyone, is a reddish brown. Adding red to the burnt umber or raw umber, I'm sorry, it will look like a reddish brown or a chocolate brown. So it changes a bit the color. Okay, so that looks good. So we're still on the process of underpainting, the second step. And use now, we can add now blue to make the color darker. So we are not using any black, everyone. So my black is just red, blue, and the raw umber. That's my black. So I'm not using any black color. I don't want to make my colors very muddy, especially for the beginners. If you mix wrong, it will look muddy. So I don't use black. But if you know how to control your colors, you can use black. But since I'm teaching, I don't want to use black. Okay, so we're done with the underpainting here. And we're going to now the third step, which is the details and finalizing. We're going to use the yellow, everyone, the red, and then another yellow, white, okay, another white to make it light browns, and yellow, white, okay, and then we can apply it to the roof. We can make the roof now lighter, okay, because we are adding now, everyone, the lighter colors or the highlights. You can see the highlights. I am using now the medium size flat brush number 8. So it's not too big, not too small. It's a medium size flat brush. Okay, that looks good. So we are adding something like a light brown or light orange color for the roof. Yeah, just have to apply like that. Okay, that's good. If you are painting with me, just follow what I'm doing. If you want to support me, everyone, you can also join my Patreon, patreon.com/JMLisondra. Okay, I'm gonna mix now for raw umber, red, and a little bit yellow. So this will be the roof, everyone, in the front of the house. So the color of the roof is actually brownish or something like brownish orange, something like that, or reddish orange or reddish brown. And when it hit by the light, it will become a lighter brown. That's why you can see on the left side roof, it's a light brown, something like that. But we can fix that later on. Okay, so that's it. And just use the brush, the small flat brush. Okay, gonna use the small flat brush now with the blue and the red and the white. So it's a purple, everyone, light purple. And then we can put the light color here. It's a gutter, everyone, of the house or gutter of the roof. So I'm not using any white first. I use first this color with this the light purple. Okay, yeah, you love it. And this one also on the front of the house. And then on the roof on the front of the house, we can put some gutter. So this one is a little bit reddish, everyone, as you can see, or much more reddish purple. Okay, and then we can put now the chimney. Yeah, the small chimney on the top of the roof. And just use this small flat brush, everyone. It's easier to use this one because um, we are dealing with smaller details. Okay, and now we can use a little bit darker. I just have to fix this gutter, everyone. Doesn't look good. The lines are not straight. Okay, yeah. I'm going to use blue, red, so dark purples. Since we are not using any black, everyone, we are using purples or dark purples for our black. Actually, you heard me right before that I don't like to use black, especially when I teach, because most usually the beginners have mistake in mixing the black and it will turn muddy. So I'm not using any black. just purples or dark purples. Okay, so I'll put that here to make this part darker because these are part which has shadow. Yeah, that looks so good. Okay, so you can actually put raw umber everyone to the purple so that it will become darker. And now can use raw umber and red to have a darker reddish brown. We can use it for adding casted shadows to the roof in front. So this is casted shadow one to make it much more three-dimensional. And in the side of the gutter also, I can put that to create much deep depths. Okay. Yeah, that's it. If you are painting with me, just follow what I'm doing and always have fun. Do not be afraid. Okay. This is for beginners and even a little bit advanced or intermediate artists. You can try this one. For the beginners, do not be afraid. So you can use yellow and in red, some orange. It's an orange. And then we can add a little bit orange everyone on the roof. This roof hit by sunlight, so it's lighter than the other roof. So we can just put orange. And I'm using the smallest flat brush. Okay, I think it will not be that hard. Yeah, and then just watch the direction of my brush. You do not need to make it so smooth, everyone. Create textures there, if possible. Create textures. Make the in any direction of the brush. There. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's good. Yeah. Okay. So we have now the beautiful roof. Okay, when I use some yellow, blue, blue, and then red to make some green, everyone. Another yellow. So if it feels hard, everyone, just add a little bit of water or dip the tip of your brush into the water to make it a little bit wet. Okay, and the green is ready. So we're gonna make now our plants. So I am using the bristle flat brush, everyone. It's a medium size. I think this is the number um, 10. You can also use 8, 9, something like that. As long as it's medium size, not so much big, not so much small. So we're just gonna do the tapping technique. Okay. So make sure that your bristle flat brush is stiff or something like a hard with a hard bristle, something like that, so that you can create beautiful textures on your grasses or on your bushes. Yeah, that's it. That's how easy is that, everyone, to make the um, plants. We're gonna use the blue, raw umber, red. I will just try to add some darks, everyone, on the base of the plants. Yeah, just add some darks because I'm not using any black, so I just use this color to make like a darker greenish something. So when you mix the blue and the raw umber, it will look like darker greenish. Okay, So I will make this one also dark. I will create a little bit of textures and yeah, textures on the sides of this tree. Okay, and here's some blue raw umber. So the same color, the same dark color, everyone, to make this color dark. Another umber and then blue. Yeah, that's how you're gonna do it. So just tapping technique. And always remember, do not overdo it, everyone. Okay, it looks good. Yeah, this part, everyone, I'm gonna make it lighter, something like that. So the highlights will be coming from the left side. So I'm gonna use now the small size flat brush. Okay, I'm gonna use blue, red, white to have some lighter bluish color. And then I'm gonna put this one, everyone, like the color of this uh, the paints of the house. Okay, so I like it to put some bluish color or some light blue color or bluish purple, something like that. And also, everyone, I'm gonna put it here. So the front of this house, everyone, look like a circular, something like that. I'm gonna use some blue, red to make it darker, or a little bit shading, everyone. Just a little bit of shadings, and just blend it well, and just follow what I'm doing. Yeah, just blend it well. And the paint's a little bit wet, so that's why it's easier to blend. Okay, that looks good. Yeah, I'm gonna use some white, adding some white on this purple to make it lighter or to make it much lighter. Okay, so I think I'm gonna use now the liner brush, everyone. The number 0 liner brush. You can also use double zero, triple zeros, and we're gonna paint now the windows. Yeah, so it is not white, everyone, but it's a light purple. Do not use white yet. We can use white later on for much more highlights. Yeah, yeah, just two squares, two square lines, and it will look like windows. And then we're gonna use some blue, red, a little bit of water. So let's fill this part inside the squares dark purple. Once again, I'm not using any black. I just use dark purple, everyone. You can add raw umber to the dark purple. It will become better. But sometimes I just put it dark purple there for my dark. Okay, and also the other one. Yeah, and then we can also add a little bit of shadows on the side of the windows to create a 3D effect, something like that. Another red and raw umber to make more colors. So the same set of colors, everyone. I'm gonna put a little bit of umber and then red. I'm gonna start to add lines, everyone, to the roof. Well, the roof have lines. I really don't know what it's called in English, everyone, but yeah, I just follow what I am seeing usually. So yeah, just lines there. Make sure that you use the liner brush so that you can create smaller lines. Okay, as you can see, everyone, I didn't put any straight lines there. Sometimes putting straight lines, it's very close to mistakes. So just like that. Yeah. Okay, another lines there. And here also. Then also add a little bit curves on the bottom part. Yeah. And then same colors, some curves to make it look more realistic. Yeah, you can. I always see this kind of design, everyone, in the Chinese houses, something like that. I don't know what it calls. You can comment below what this kind of roof called in your country. I just put like that details. As you can see, everyone, I didn't put so much clear details there because, of course, I also make sure that I will not make mistakes. Okay, just vertical lines between the horizontal lines. Okay, I'm gonna put some red and then blue. It's a light purple. So we're gonna put shades on the chimney. Some few details also on the chimney, everyone, and then some casted shadows on the chimney. Okay, and then I'm gonna use some white. I will add some highlights of the chimney, everyone, on the left side. So adding some more white there to make it look having some highlights. Then I use white, yellow, another white, and some water. This put also highlights on the roof, everyone. Like that. Some just few lines on the side, on the left side. Okay. This will just create some textures, everyone. Or even you can see that it looks like 3D now or three-dimensional. So those few light lines on the side of the of these what do you call this horizontal vertical lines, it creates a three-dimensional effect. Yeah, just follow what I'm doing. Okay. Yeah, it will not be that hard. I know. And actually, when you are beginners, you're still confused on doing that, and I understand that. And only I have to advise to you is that do not be afraid. Do not be afraid to try. Just try it, and you will know and you will understand that is easy. But remember this: at the beginning, at the first time, it will always be hard. You just have to try it, and you will learn from it. Okay, I'm gonna use raw umber. I'm gonna create also here, everyone, some horizontal and vertical lines, the same that we did on the other side. This part one is the dark side. It's that doesn't hit with the light. That's why the color is dark brown, something like that. Okay, so yes, just like that. It's easy and fast. And then I'm gonna make the windows darker because I think you can still see through there, something like that. So I just have to use the raw umber to make it darker. And the other sides of the shades make it darker. Okay, so using the liner brush, everyone, I'm gonna use this light purple or blue, red, and white color. Using the liner brush, we can create the details of the windows. Okay, so just one vertical lines and two horizontal lines. As you can see, look like window grills. Okay, so I think it's not hard, and I know that everyone can also do it. Okay, so we're gonna use the raw umber, and then blue, and then yellow, and then red, and then blue again, and then raw umber. So this will be a dark color, everyone. And we can put now another tree on the back of this house so that it will look more balanced. Okay? Anyway, yeah, you can disregard this part, everyone. It's okay if there will be no tree there. But it's up to you. Actually, yeah. I just like to put one tree there. It's like that my grandpa planted it there way before. Okay? So again, just tapping technique to make the beautiful tree. Okay. Just feel that everything there. That's like the tree will be like a solid trees. Okay. And also this part, we're gonna make it darker to for the casted shadows. Yeah, adding more casted shadows. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, I just have to refine that part, everyone. And I'm using the medium size flat brush, number 8. Yeah. Okay. And then I'm gonna use again blue, yellow. So we're gonna mix. We're gonna need now a lighter green, everyone, or darker greens. Yeah, some darker greens. And I am using now the bristle flat brush. Yeah, to create some darker colors or darker tones on these trees, on these bushes. I mean, yeah, just tapping technique, everyone. Feel everything there. Okay, I think it's not that hard. Yellow, red, again yellow, and then we can add now some leaves on this bigger tree. Again, just tapping technique and use the medium size flat brush, well, bristle flat brush number 8, I think, number 8, number 9. Okay, So we're adding first the dark color, everyone, before we're gonna add the highlights. I'm very excited with the highlights. How these trees, these bushes will pop out. It will become wonderful, baby. Okay, if you are painting, just follow what I'm doing and always have fun. And do not be afraid, everyone. Just try it. Just do not be afraid. If you make mistakes, it's normal. And you can always correct the mistakes. This time, everyone, I'm adding a little bit lighter or a little bit yellow to make the color lighter or to make the green lighter. Now, again, just add it, but do not overdo it. Always remember that. Okay, I have to clean my brush. I'm gonna use now the smallest flat brush, everyone, with the yellow and the blue. And then I have here the white. I'm now ready to create the highlights, everyone. With this, I'm very, very excited. So let's put the highlights here. So I want to exaggerate the lights on this part, everyone, of this tree. I want it to have a very high highlights. Like it hits by almost the back part of this tree. Yeah. So I just fill it there with this light yellow green highlights. Okay. Just light yellow green highlights, everyone. And everything will be good. So just like that. At first it looks not good, but actually we are just drafting it, how it will look, or which part will be have a greater highlights. Later on we can refine that. And again, just tapping technique, everyone. You can actually use the bristle flat brush on this one. It will, you can do it much more faster if you're gonna use that. Okay, so do the tapping technique. Yeah, I think this is much fun to do. Just tapping technique. Okay, I can see now it's much better. And now add a pure yellow, everyone. Let's add a pure yellow. I'm gonna use now yellow and a little bit of red to make orange, a little bit orange. And again, the technique is a tapping technique. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna use now some white to create much more highlights. Yeah. This one is a pure white, everyone. I want to exaggerate this part. You can see that it looks like a reflection from the lights or some, it looks like also flowers, but this one is a reflection from the lights. I want to show that the light is hitting this part and you will see much reflection. So I added some white colors. Okay, that's wonderful. Okay, I'm gonna use now the blue, the yellow, another white, and the yellow. So here one is a light green. I'm adding some light green on this part. Yeah. So this part, everyone, is much more lighter now. Because I can see that it's not so much light, so I have to make the highlights a little bit lighter. But this part does not hit by the light either. So I do not need to put the light yellow green. Okay, just tapping technique. And it will actually create much more wonderful effect. Still, I'm using the smallest flat brush I have, the number 3 nylon flat brush. I use the blue, the yellow. Yeah, it's a light green, everyone. Another warmer. And also put some darks on other parts here. If you are painting with me, just follow what I'm doing. And if you want to support me more, everyone, you can follow my Patreon page, patreon.com/JMLisondra. You can watch exclusive lessons there. You can support me on my Patreon, and still you can also support me on my YouTube channel. Okay? So yeah, you can. There's a lot of tutorials there that I didn't upload here on my YouTube, so you can watch more there. Okay, the same thing. Now, doing everyone. Yeah, slowly and slowly you can see now this tree coming alive, and it looks really wonderful. And this one, everyone, on these bushes or plants, I'm gonna add now the highlights. I'm gonna use the yellow, the blue, more yellow, and then white. Yellow again, because I want it to be much more uh, higher highlights, everyone. So I'm gonna use that color, and then start adding the highlights. So the same brush, everyone. The number 3 nylon flat brush, the smallest flat brush I have, and you guys can start adding them some highlights. Okay. Yeah, just tapping technique. Slowly but surely. Okay, do not overdo it, everyone. Let's remember that. If you are a beginner, you can also watch my beginner videos on how to paint bushes. There, I can explain better, and you can also practice this one. For the beginners, everyone, I recommend that you have to practice also this one, specifically on painting the bushes and the trees or the tree leaves. I'm gonna use yellow and blue, same colors. So I just have to do like that, tapping, tapping, tapping. Okay. Just tapping technique. Okay. I advise everyone, for the beginners, you can practice making trees like maybe 5 to 10 times, because this one is not really easy. Even everyone, when I starting how to paint, painting trees is one of the harder subjects that I faced. So yeah, practice this one. Practice on how to make that textures, the right textures there. Actually, your hands and your mind will just discover it, and you will see that, wow, this looks good and realistic. But if you want, just practice like this. I mean, painting more what I'm doing here, doing this a lot of times. and you will know that it will become much more easier by time. Okay, and do not be discouraged, everyone. If you can't do it at the beginning, then it's okay, because anyway, this takes time, not just for one time, but maybe more times. So the same thing, everyone, on the back of the trees, or the back trees, or the trees on the back, same set of colors. So yeah, the same set of colors, and I'm gonna put the highlights there, much more lighter. So I just add white to the light green, so it becomes much more lighter green. Okay, I'm going to add more white to create much more highlights, and then it's time now to add highlights on this one. So again, the same brush, just the same colors also, yellow and white, or the light green adding more white to become much more lighter greens. Again, tapping technique, and do not overdo it, always remember. Okay, I have to clean my brush. I have the red. Start now adding some flowers. Okay, so let's start with the red flowers. Again, the same brush, everyone. The smallest flat brush I have. And flowers, just small dots in groups. And you will see that it looks like flowers. Yeah. Looking good. Love it. And you can add white to the red to make it pink, or we can make the flowers lighter. And in the lighter part, everyone, just add the pink color on the left side. So this part will be the highlights. There. Beautiful. Yeah. So red, blue. So let's start to let's make a purple, everyone, and then white. So this one will be a purple flower. Again, just tapping technique. Make it group by group. As you can see what I'm doing. There. Looks so good. Yellow and then red to create some orange. So let's create also some orange flower. At least we have different kind of flowers, everyone. Not just few, but different. So let's put it here. Some orange flower. Okay. And then you can add yellow to create highlights on the orange flowers. Yellow for the highlights. There. Yeah, just yellow, everyone, for the highlights. Okay. So that's it. So if you want to paint the full tutorial, everyone, you can just follow the link on the description box or on the comment section. Okay, once again, so thank you so much for watching this full painting tutorial today on how to paint this beautiful house on the garden. And don't forget to share this video, comment, subscribe, and like. You can also follow me on my Patreon, patreon.com/JMLisondra, if you want to support me more, and you can watch more tutorials on YouTube. Thank you, have a nice day, and God bless you all. All the glory, honor, and power, praises belongs to the Lord.